You know what's funny? People always think wealth is about making a big splash. Startups, crypto, NFTs, flashy trading apps that beep like slot machines. Everyone's chasing the next big thing. But let me tell you something my grandfather used to say while sipping tea and peeling an orange. Loud money makes noise going in, and even more noise going out. So today, let's talk about the quiet way. The way that doesn't make headlines, but builds wealth like a stone wall, layer by layer. No hype, no nonsense. Let me show you the silent Jewish investment formula that's been passed down not in textbooks, but in conversations around dinner tables, in modest offices, and behind little counters in family stores. Let's begin. Now, listen. There's this image floating around of the genius investor with 19 screens, trading like a caffeinated squirrel. But in the Jewish tradition, wealth has very little to do with speed. In fact, we almost treat speed like something suspicious. You're moving fast? Slow down. Check your pockets. Because what's really praised is patience. Wealth in many Jewish communities wasn't about hitting it big. It was about buying a small building, collecting rent, maintaining it, and teaching your kids how to do the same. Repeat. Like Moshe, my uncle's neighbor. Bought one apartment in 1972. That's it. Just one. Today, that apartment paid for his daughter's wedding, his son's university, and 3 trips to Jerusalem. No day trading. No apps. Just waiting. You water a fig tree and for the first few years it gives you nothing. Then one day, boom, figs for everyone. Even the neighbor's cat gets a snack. Patience multiplies. Not instantly, but inevitably. You know, there's a certain peace in watching something grow slowly. Like making a good stew. It takes time. But when it's ready, it fills the whole house with warmth. That's how Jewish families build. Slow heat. Long simmer. And let me tell you, the more you lean into patience, the more resilient your wealth becomes. Fast money flies in, but it also flies out. Slow money sticks around, makes friends, has a few grandchildren. Ever notice how old buildings have thicker walls? That's what we're building here. Look, I'll be honest with you. Jews throughout history have had one very particular skill: preparing for bad weather, even on sunny days. It's not paranoia, it's experience. So, what's the rule? Never put all your eggs in one basket. And if you must, make sure the basket has a steel lock, a fire extinguisher, and maybe your cousin Shlomo watching over it. That's why diversification isn't just finance talk. It's a cultural reflex. A Jewish merchant in 1500s Venice might sell spices in the morning, lend money in the afternoon, and rent out a room upstairs at night. Not because he loved being busy, but because he knew things change. And let's bring it modern. My friend Rachel, she has a full-time job, sure, but also a small Etsy store selling handmade soaps. And guess what? Her husband fixes bicycles on weekends, not because they're broke, because they're smart. We don't bet the house on one idea. We build 3 smaller ones, just in case 2 collapse. And that's not fear. That's wisdom dressed in sneakers. Diversification doesn't mean you're afraid to commit. It means you've seen storms and you've got extra umbrellas. It's like cooking a Shabbat dinner. You don't make 1 dish. You make 5. If the kugel burns, you still have brisket. Even better? Sometimes the dish you didn't expect, the quiet little lentils in the back, ends up being the family's favorite. Don't underestimate the power of the side hustle, the small investment, the boring rental. That's often where the magic hides. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. Some of the wealthiest Jewish families I've ever known look totally ordinary. Old cars, simple clothes, a watch that ticks, not brags. Because for us, status is not measured by how you spend, but how well you don't. Here's a story. A man named Avraham used to live down the block from us. Every day, same routine. Walk to work, brown paper bag lunch, shoes always polished. People thought he was just another office clerk. Turns out, he owned 3 buildings in Brooklyn. How? Because for 40 years, he didn't upgrade every time he got a raise. He upgraded his savings. There's this old Yiddish saying, "He who buys what he does not need steals from his own future." Oof. That one stings a little, doesn't it? But it's true. Living below your means doesn't mean living like a monk. It means your money works for you, not for some company's marketing team. So, next time you get a bonus, before you celebrate at that steakhouse, ask, what would Bubby say? Probably something like, "You can eat steak at home, no?" It's about modesty, not misery. You wear your wealth on the inside, in your peace of mind, your options, your independence. And you know what else? When things go wrong, and they always do, You're not scrambling. You've got a cushion. You've got breathing room. Living modestly doesn't mean you're poor. It means you're free. Here's where things get dicey. Because we live in a world where people invest in things they don't understand on purpose. You know the type. Oh, it's a decentralized blockchain-based GOAT marketplace, and I just bought 12 tokens. Okay, great. But let me ask you, can you explain it to a 10-year-old? No? Then maybe don't put your retirement in it. In the Jewish tradition, we value clarity, understanding, study. Learning isn't just for rabbis, it's for life. That's why our investment style is very human. Brick and mortar? Okay. People need places to live. A bakery? People eat bread. Index funds? It's just a basket of companies that run the world. Makes sense. We're not against risk. We're against blind risk. There's a difference. One is like walking a tightrope with a safety net. The other is like walking a tightrope blindfolded, during a windstorm, after 2 espressos. Choose the first one. You don't need to be a financial wizard. You just need to understand the game you're playing. And if you don't understand it yet, study, ask, read. Call your uncle who won't shut up about compound interest. It's not sexy, but it works. Wisdom over novelty. Bread over buzzwords. Common sense over complexity. It's not about being trendy. It's about being clear. The moment you get what you're investing in, you take back power. Suddenly, you're not just hoping for the best. You're making informed bets. You're part of the equation. And when you're part of the equation, you sleep better at night. Now, we get to the real secret. Because even if you do everything right, save, invest, live simply, what happens when you're gone? The money goes to your kids, or your niece, or someone who still thinks credit card points is a financial strategy. So here's what we do. We teach, from early on, around the table, on walks, in little conversations, not lectures, stories. Like how Grandpa used to hide cash in a sock, and how it helped buy the shop after the war. Or how Aunt Miriam started with one sewing machine and ended up with a dress company. Kids remember stories, not spreadsheets. And we show them. Bring them to the bank. Let them see the bills. Tell them how you saved for that trip. Let them help calculate change at the store. Because money doesn't grow on trees. But wisdom? That can. And here's the kicker. You don't need to have millions to pass on value. Teach them to avoid debt traps. To wait before buying. To ask questions. You know what's more powerful than compound interest? A child who understands it before age 15. And don't stop there. As they grow older, include them in your decisions. Let them see your budget. Discuss real-life trade-offs. Not to scare them, to empower them. Because when they understand how money really works, they won't need to chase hype. They'll build futures. And maybe one day, they'll tell their kids, "You know what my father used to say while sipping tea and peeling an orange?" So, what's the formula? Patience, preparation, simplicity, understanding, and education. No apps can replace it. No shortcut can beat it. It's quiet. It's strong. And it works. You won't see it in a TED Talk. You'll see it in families that, generation after generation, stay steady. That's the Jewish way. Not about being rich tomorrow. It's about staying secure forever. Tell me in the comments what part hit home for you. Really, I want to hear it. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Buckle up, because the next one, we're going deeper. I'll show you how old Jewish principles of trade, community lending, and sabbatical cycles may just be the smartest financial system nobody talks about. Trust me, your great-grandfather would raise an eyebrow, then lean in. See you there.